Good morning. This is October 1st. This is a little impromptu message for the eclipse today in my part of the world. One thing I'd like to talk about today, for those of you who are healing or dealing with self-esteem, self-confidence issues, or codependency, things of that nature, or who have a skewed view of yourself and who you are and your value in this world and how you got that way. When we come into this world, we're born into families, and everybody, we grow up in a society where judgment and projection is the leading path. And people tend to, especially on children, children take everything in internally. When we're growing up, and especially during our fundamental years, our developmental years, which are the first 7, we tend to take everything personal. Everything on the outside of us in our environment, especially from our loved ones, especially our caregivers and our family unit, people in our family unit. And when you grow up around humans who don't realize the magnitude of the impact of the weight or the destruction that their words or their behavior impact the psyche of the children in their environment, and how it can have a detrimental and also destructive impact on the human they become as adults, or they grow into. Majority of my life, I have always been the person who always looked outside of myself. I was the one who everybody else was always important to me, and making sure everybody else's needs were met. Up until 2016, 17, I had a real issue with valuing my own needs, valuing myself. I had, in the 17 years or so leading up to 2016, 2017, my self-confidence and self-esteem was destroyed. I mean, it went completely away from traumatic experiences, life experiences that I'd gone through, with little to no support, because of the way I was viewed by other humans, because I lost my voice. So I did not share my worries or my concerns or my traumatic experiences with the important people in my life. And because of that, a lot of these people took the words of humans that were actually the cause of a lot of the traumatic experience. And humans overall, until you become aware and you get to a point to where you value the honesty, and you value accountability and holding yourself accountable as well as the people around you, you know, where the healing part of the journey, where truth and accountability and boundaries and all of that become essential and non-negotiable. We tend, especially when you become or cultivated into a codependent, whether it be as an adult or as a kid, you know, there's a lot of stuff about narcissists online. A lot. And the narcissist and the codependent are opposite ends of the same scale. Narcissists find themselves to be, they look at themselves as God. Let's just use that as an analogy or whatever, just to help you understand the mentality of a narcissist. They, although the reason for the narcissistic personality or mask is to cover up the internal damage and how they feel inside. Okay, so they have this grandiose idea of who they are mentally to cover up the damaged psyche. Codependent, and they use manipulation tools and tactics and things like that. And that's where the ugly tactics come in. If you look at a lot of the ugly narcissistic tactics that narcissists and other toxic people tend to go to use, you know, and the smear campaigns and the word salad, gaslighting, things of that nature, the manipulation tactics. Codependents, on the other hand, they already view themselves as damaged and broken. They feel unworthy. They really don't believe they're worth the air they breathe. And in order to believe that they deserve love, they feel they have to earn it. So they tend to use manipulation unknowingly, a lot of times, to get their own needs met because they feel they don't deserve it. So most of the time they won't speak up and ask. And, you know, narcissists tend to they have this ability. It's like they're drawn to, because there's a polarity, regardless of whether you believe it or not, there's a polarity. So narcissists are drawn to the damaged codependent, the one who can't recognize red flags, who's willing to sacrifice themselves because they already view themselves. They have an internal view and an external view of themselves, of being unworthy, that they have to earn love. They have to work to earn love, so they're willing to walk through hell in order to get their needs met and to get the love they feel they need or want or whatever. And I guess I'm going to have to do a second on this because I'm going on 9 minutes now. But this is something that we all really need to take some time to look at. Because codependents, you know, narcissists will take and they will damage you without a second thought, without any remorse. Codependents aren't like that. Codependents are normally very, very sensitive and very highly sensitive at that. And I really think that we need to stop pointing the finger